you don't know just who the hell I am. If you don't know just who the hell I am the greatest thing to have ever come through professional wrestling in the Mid-Atlantic region. If you don't know just who the hell I am Danny Vegas. And if you don't know just who the hell we are Viva Las Amish.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the studios in Mooresville, North Carolina, it's the Binge Buster Show. Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Binge Buster Show. And my guest this week is none other than Viva Las Amish. They are one of the up-and-coming fast tag teams that are taking over the Mid-Atlantic area. Guys, how you doing this evening?
Pretty well. How are you, man?
Man, I'm doing great. You guys have had a pretty busy schedule as of late, huh?
Yeah. I think we're booked all the way through 2020.
Wow, that's amazing. And now, tell us exactly how long have you guys been together?
How long have we been together?
We got together.
Played the Viva Las Amish thing?
Probably since like
February, March.
Yeah, February, March. Well, actually the Viva Las Amish, like bringing the Danny Vegas and the Amish Outlaw thing together is probably like April.
April,
so
about April.
Oh, nice. I know.
April of this year.
Yeah, I was just telling someone the other day that I see you guys promos and stuff on Facebook, and you guys are like a marketing machine.
I appreciate it, man.
And one of the things I'm popping for is like your WWE quality T-shirts that you guys are selling.
Oh yeah, Mark DeGrunchy.
I think it's DeGruchy.
Is it DeGruchy? I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but you can look him up on Facebook. He is a killer designer. He's actually designed some things that's been actually up in like Hot Topic. He's designed a couple things for some guys in AEW. So yeah, if you're looking to get anything designed, I would definitely look him up. It's spelled Grunchy, but it might be something fancy. Like
I think it's GRUCHY, but it's dope artwork.
Yeah, definitely dope artwork.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
and he does everything by hand.
Oh wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and if you're looking for anybody to print any T-shirts, I would hit up Storm Apparel by Joe Storm.
Yeah, Joe Storm's pretty amazing. He does amazing work. Matter of fact, I had Joe on one of my podcasts here a couple weeks ago, and Joe's been in and around the wrestling business for a lot of years, so he knows his stuff. Yes,
he definitely prints some high quality stuff too.
So
and for a good price as well.
Yeah, that's the key right there, because I see a lot of things on Facebook where there'll be an ad that says T-shirts for $4, but the catch is you got to order 400 T-shirts to get them for $4. And
see, that's the great thing about Joe. He doesn't require any minimum that I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think he does.
Yeah. Like I said, you're right. Joe definitely makes some great stuff. Speaking of great stuff, let's talk a little bit about the Amish Outlaw gimmick and what made you guys come up with that.
So basically, when I started training Hezekiah and Jebediah, I basically explained to them that most of the time pro wrestling is very stereotypical, and I was like, usually most of the time you can look at a guy and be like, all right, you look like this, like that's you, that should be you, like when I first looked at Hezekiah and Jebediah, I was like, Amish, like you guys have the beards, you guys look Amish, shave your mustache off, you guys are Amish.
No, shaving the mustache is a hard sell.
Yeah. Same thing with a couple of the other trainees, I looked at them and I was like, you look like this. I think this should be your gimmick.
Hey, yeah,
it was just basically just from looking at them, and it just popped up in my brain.
Yeah, and I could definitely see that because it's just and on top of that, it's besides the guy that was in ECW there for a while, Roadkill, there really hasn't been any wrestlers like that with that type of gimmick. So it's something new, something fresh, and I think you guys are onto something because it's really getting over. I see.
I appreciate it, man. Believe it or not, I didn't even know before this gimmick who Roadkill was. Like, no offense to Roadkill, I had never even heard of the gimmick. I didn't watch that much ECW. I had no clue who Roadkill was. And then, we got booked on a few shows or whatever, and there was a couple guys in the back. They're just like, "Hey, you ever heard of Roadkill?" We're just like, "Nope." I mean, I definitely looked them up and everything. What we're going for is a little bit more. It's more edgier, a little different than what he was doing. Yeah.
Or because it's Amish outlaw, so we do the Amish thing, but we're still just edgier and just more meaner and stuff. Say stuff that Amish people wouldn't normally say. That how we're all snoppers.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like because a lot of times when people think of Amish, they think of these really nice, to me, pilgrimage people that are willing to help out and do whatever they can for their community. But the Viva Las Amish is totally different. They're gonna beat up your kids and they're gonna kick your wife in the hoo-ha and that's gonna be the end of the story. And I know I've been on a few shows with you guys and the amount of heat that you guys have been able to draw is pretty amazing.
We love the heat, baby.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that as I was saying that catches my eye, and I'm a fellow wrestler, is the fact that how much work and time that you guys put in to making your image and your brand and also getting it over. I don't think there's very many wrestlers out there that would dress up in their gear and go to restaurants and stores and cut promos. No one would do that. As a matter of fact, the only other wrestler that I know of that I've ever seen go into a store, and you can see these pictures on Facebook. It's pretty funny. A good friend of mine, Leo Riker, there's a picture on Facebook of him wearing his wrestling trunks, his wrestling boots, and buying a bottle of whiskey. Now that's pretty hardcore right there. Yeah. I love that. But he wasn't in there cutting a promo. He was in there buying him a bottle, for the night. But I love it. I mean, you guys, I love you guys' gimmick.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
We definitely got some weird looks from the wall.
Oh, yeah, we definitely got some weird looks at the Waffle House.
It's like, come on, we're not the weirdest people that come in here today.
Right? On my podcast, I like telling old stories, so I'm going to tell you guys a funny story, one of my Waffle House stories. So this was, I don't remember what year, but anyway, some friends of mine and I, we had went to a concert up in Charlotte. I think we went to see Poison or somebody like that. But anyway, so we're on our way back, and we decided to stop at this Waffle House. I think it was in Salisbury, maybe, or somewhere outside of Charlotte. But anyway, so we get in this Waffle House, and it's clear that there's a lot of people in this Waffle House that had just came from this concert as well. And this was back in my wilder, younger days. But anyway, so we're in this Waffle House, and there's a guy. It's like a whole table and a big group of people over there, and this guy's got his hand up on the table, and the lady brings out his pancakes. And funniest thing I ever saw. So his girlfriend or wife, whatever she was, she reaches over the counter and gets the syrup and starts putting it all over the guy's pancakes. And he's got his elbows on the table. His hand is in the palms of his hands, because he's about to pass out or fall asleep, whichever. And so next thing you know, she puts all this syrup on these pancakes. The man never budges, And then she keeps elbowing him like, eat your food. And he's like, he's mumbling some stuff. And his other friends, and they're all wasted. Everybody at the table's wasted. All of a sudden, this dude passes out the table. His face slams into his plate of pancakes. The table dumps over, and he hits the ground. And the lady in Waffle House goes, "Did he pass out?" And his friend goes, "No, he's just taking a nap on his plate." And so she tells them they got to leave because they're making a disturbance or whatever. So we're still sitting there. Well, over by the window was a couple girls that had came from the concert because they had concert shirts on. So they're like looking at me and my friends, and we're just kind of looking over and smiling, whatever. So we get done eating our food and we go to leave, and as we go up to get in our car, it just so happens my car was parked facing the window where they were sitting, and the girl was a redhead, and she gets up and she pulls up her shirt and sticks her boobs up on the window and flashes us. And I told my buddies, I said, only in a Waffle House at 12 at midnight that you can get pancakes and see some big boobs. So I thought that was pretty funny. So all in that 45-minute time that we're in a Waffle House, we see a guy pass out and we see a girl show us her boobs. I was like, oh my gosh. And so seeing that,
was it pancakes or waffles?
Oh, I couldn't tell. It was.
I think. No, I'm not talking about the boobs.
You talking about the
food? Like,
the food. Well, I
think does Waffle House just sell waffles?
I guess it was waffles, but I couldn't really remember. Yeah. But yeah, you're probably right. It probably was waffles, but whatever it was, I know she was putting syrup on it. He falls right into the plate and knocks everything off the table, and he hits the floor. And it was the funniest thing ever. When it first happened, I thought somebody punched him, but that wasn't the case. He just passed out. But, so seeing stuff like that, they seeing you guys should be something normal.
There's another Waffle House story. There's all kinds of Waffle House stories out there. I remember old Rob McBride and Paco Loco were telling me this story that they'd done. Basically, they have this spot that they call it the Waffle House spot.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of it?
No, I haven't heard this story, I don't think.
Yeah, because they done it in the middle of a Waffle House. Basically, it's where it's hard to explain. Paco will go to hook for the hip toss, and Rob will give him the punch to the gut, put his leg on the back of his head, backflip, that whole gimmick. They call it the Waffle House spot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know. It's just that's the first thing that pops in my mind when I think of a Waffle House story.
Well, Waffle House is like the only place that's opened up so late. And I remember back in the 80s and 90s when wrestlers had territories they had to work. And most time they wouldn't get out of the building until almost midnight. And so at that point, the only thing really open was a Waffle House. So I know I used to hear stories that if you wanted to meet a wrestler, the best place to go was a Waffle House because that's usually where they always ended up at after a show.
Yeah.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I know.
Accurate, yeah.
I know. When I was on the road pretty hard, that's what we done. We would. Our ritual was this: we would go to CC's Pizza on the way to the show and gorge ourselves with pizza, then go to the show. And by that time, I would have gas, so I would rib the referee by farting and making him smell it. And then after the show, we would drive back home and then find a Waffle House, stop there and eat and hang out and mess with the waitresses, and then drive home. But yeah, I used to do this gimmick, guys. This is pretty funny. We used to always go to CC's Pizza, and this one promotion I used to work for, their brother was a referee, and at the time he was probably 15 or 16 years old. So me and my guys would always rib the referee, because we loved him. He was a fun dude. So I just do the spot where I tell my cousin Mark, I say, okay, snap marry me over, put me in a reverse chin lock, but make sure you turn your head. So he would, so by that time I'd feel the gas coming. He would snap marry me over, put me in a reverse chin lock, and right as I'm going down, I'll let the fart go. And then, so by the time I hit the mat, I'm selling with my hands. So, but I'm actually pushing the fart smell up into the ref's face. So whenever he would bend down to check to see if he was choking me, he would be the one getting choked from the awful smell from the gas. Of course, this was my younger years. I was in my early 20s. There's nothing else to do, to have fun during the matches. But I used to love doing that. I haven't done that in a while, so I may have to do that on the next show. But hopefully I'm not working you guys. You guys won't be smelling it. No. But speaking of you guys, working with you guys, I know I've got the chance to work on several shows with you guys lately, and I think we got one coming up here in the next couple of weeks with NAWA. Is that correct?
Yes. It's the PAL show?
Yes.
Passive Wrestling?
Yes. I said NAWA just because it's under the NAWA banner, but yeah, Path of Wrestling, okay. They do their shows on Thursdays up there in Morganton at the Burke County Fairgrounds. And I believe I'm gonna be working with you guys. I don't know 100%, but I believe that's what the promoter there is leaning towards.
Cool.
Because he like me, he like me. He loves your gimmick, and he's like, I think we can do some stuff with these guys. I said, yeah. Now speaking of gimmicks, I almost forgot to touch on this. The biggest draw with you guys is your gimmick, and that is with your chicken. What is your chicken's name?
Betsy.
Betsy, that's right.
Jim and I answered that one.
Betsy. I mean, that right there is, I look back, okay, Jake Roberts had the snake, Ricky Steamboat had the Komodo dragon. No one's ever had a chicken before. I mean, I know there's been a lot of wrestlers
Coco Beware had the big macaw parrot.
Yeah, he had the parrot. The Bruce Bulldogs had the bull, or had the little bull, the English bulldog.
Yeah.
So I think your next shirt you guys should have a shirt that says we love, we have cock, and have a picture of Betsy on it. That'd be a great shirt.
Hey, she is a strong, beautiful hen.
Oh, that's great. I'll never forget.
Yeah, we're thinking about printing some Betsy shirts in the future. Maybe something like with her face on it, says "cluck off" or something.
Oh, that would be awesome. That'd be a great shirt. So what? That's right. Hey, you need to start telling them. Say, hey, I need to raise my booking fee because I got to buy. Betsy needs new shoes.
Yeah, we got to buy some chicken feed for the chicken.
That's right.
Now, if we're going out of state and they want us to bring the chicken, I'm gonna tell them, like, hey, you got to throw a little bit of extra cash because if we're going to bring this chicken all the way to Texas, you guys are going to pay a little bit more. Right,
exactly. I mean, you can't just find a pretty chicken any place. Yeah. Speaking of that, I was on a show one time, and matter of fact, Danny, I think you were on the same show. But I was on a show with Jake the Snake Roberts, and he was telling me a story that back in the day when he had Damien was like 30 or 40 different snakes, because they would always get these snakes from these different snake handlers. But he has some pretty funny snake stories. So I'm sure if we hang around long enough, you guys will probably have some funny Betsy stories.
Yeah, this whole thing runs pretty well and goes a long time. Sadly, chickens don't live a long life. They only live, I think, about 5 or 6 years.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
like Jake didn't go through more than once.
Yeah, he was just saying, like, Jake had all kinds of snakes.
Mm-hmm. We don't have any funny stories about her yet.
Yeah.
Sometimes she'll freak out and come and peck our eyes out.
But other than that, she does pretty well, though.
Yeah, I've been on a couple of shows with her. Most of the time I didn't even know you even had her because a lot of times you think a chicken's clucking a lot, but she's pretty quiet.
She's pretty calm. Yeah,
for sure.
We got her when she was pretty young, and basically, started putting her to work. We got her.
Hey, you better be careful. You don't want to get slammed with the child labor law.
Oh yeah. Worried about PETA. Yeah, worried about PETA getting on it.
Oh yeah, PETA. Yeah, especially PETA. Them PETA.
Nah. Yeah. Heat.
So what do you guys?
We take pretty good care of her, and she's she's definitely a good chicken.
Yeah, and again, it adds depth to your guys' gimmick, which I think like there, and this might just be the old school in me, but there's not. I would say probably zero wrestlers out there that put that much effort into their gimmick, and like I said, that's one of the things I like about you guys.
Appreciate it, man.
It's definitely a lost art, that's for sure. I mean, I've been in this business for 28 years, and I ain't never went that far as to.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, you guys are going that extra step. Yes, it may get tiring and annoying at times. Just like, always have to tote along a chicken, but and a butter churn, that too. And I was just like, just keep doing it. That's the one thing that you guys are doing different from everybody around you.
Mm-hmm.
And you just keep doing it and keep working your butt off, maybe one day it'll pay off.
Yeah, for sure. And the fact that you guys are young, you guys still have a long road ahead of you in this business.
Yeah.
And with the attitude that you guys have, I can only see you guys just keeping on going,
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Now,
Really
what do you guys got going on this coming weekend? I know you guys are probably booked 10 different places.
Just 2 this weekend. We got CWF, Freedom of Expression. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the CWF Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium in Gibsonville on Saturday, July 13th.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have on Sunday the Rick Link Super Show in Lexington, North Carolina at the Lexington Armory.
Oh, nice. Yeah, as a matter of fact, earlier this week I done a podcast with a couple of guys that are on that show, and they were telling me about all the great things that wrestlers have donated and their time and their gimmicks and stuff to help raise money for this great cause, which I think is very commendable.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm really excited for that. We're excited to help out Rick Link. He's one of the all-time greats, and he's definitely paved the way for a lot of the young guys in the business now, like ourselves.
Yeah, very, very good. And the good part is like now, so many wrestlers have come together to kind of help raise money for him, which is definitely a plus. Because I know a lot of times wrestlers get, we get talked about how we're selfish, which definitely we are, because wrestling is a selfish industry. But at the end of the day, it's a brotherhood as well. So we always try to look after each other and take care of each other as best we can.
Yeah, my girlfriend looked at me on that one.
What's that about wrestlers being selfish?
About the selfish part.
Oh yeah.
Gave me that eye on that one.
Danny Vegas is far from selfish, that's for sure.
But yeah, sometimes we can be selfish.
Yeah, we definitely can. I mean, I know of a wrestler. We won't say his name on air, but I know whenever he first started, terrific Tony, he was very selfish and there I've left a trail of tears behind because I loved the sport so much, and I believed, I really in my mind and my heart, I knew this stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna make it big one day, and everybody makes it a different way. They have goals, and when I first started, I had no clue that I would catch on as well as I did, and be able to do some of the cool things I've got to do over the years. And I mean, not many people can say they've got to wrestle their childhood heroes and become good friends with their childhood heroes. But now I will admit I have met some childhood heroes that I was like, are you kidding me? This guy's a total jerk, But I guess at some point in time we all can be jerks. But I'm just thankful for all the things I've got to do in wrestling. But I guess my biggest feat is that I enjoy is making friends and meeting people that we click right away. that's kind of the way you and me and Viva La Amish has done. We've only known each other just a short period of time, but it feels like we've known each other forever.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, as far as all the times the short period of time that you guys have been in this business, what do you think has like been your favorite people to work with?
The CWF boys.
I mean, of course, all of them.
Yeah.
But we love CWF and AIWF. They always put us over.
Are you talking about promotions or work?
Well, either or both.
Yeah, I like any time I can get in the ring, man.
Yeah.
As long as it's a good ring.
Good ring.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't want a ring that falls down.
You get my drift. As long as it's a good ring.
I see where that shoot's going. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, I remember, looking at you a few times and going, we ain't taking no bumps in this thing. And it reminds me, every time I see a ring like that, it goes back to my talk with Boogie. Hey, brother, we got 24 other guys before us taking bumps. We ain't got to take any. Because the last thing you want to do is take a bump in some crappy ring and it fall down. So promoters out there, if you're running shows, just make sure the ring. See, this is the thing that gets me going. Okay, so a lot of promoters think that they're the star, or their best friend's the star, or the guy they mark out for is the star. But that ring is a star. That ring is the first and the last thing that the people walk in the door see. And when they walk in the door, if they see a ring that's 2 inches off the floor, or the ropes are looser than their high school girlfriend, nobody wants to work in something like that, and nobody wants to look at something like that. So make sure your ring looks nice, and it is nice, and you will get guys to work really hard for you. But when you got a crappy ring, you ain't gonna get much out of most people. I know you're not gonna get much out of me.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Now, still talking about your gimmick. I was on a show with you guys a couple weeks ago, and I remember I mentioned it to you guys, but your theme song with the chicken clucking or rooster crowing, man, that is a great beginning.
Yeah, that's basically our stone cold glass breaking cue. As soon as people hear that crow, they're like, "Oh man, it's this stinking Amish guys."
I mean, it's over. I love it. Now, I guess now we can talk about some shows that we've actually been on in the past that we enjoyed, and I have to say, even though it wasn't a match, that Sober Slam that we just done a couple weeks ago with the Battle Royal, man, that was a lot of fun, was it not?
My goodness,
really fun.
I was so sad that I couldn't get in the ring on that one. Still tending to that injury, but that was awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely insane.
I mean, man, that
crowd was hot.
I mean, if every crowd in North Carolina could be like that crowd, man, I would.
It was the craziest crowd I've ever been in front of.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was it was very old school ECW, PWG kind of crowd.
I've never been afraid anybody was trying to fight me before.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy, and Courtney's got a good thing going there, and hopefully next year he'll invite us back.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it's and it's for a good cause too. I know a lot of people suffer from help me out with my word here, addictions, and
addiction.
Yeah, and I think that it's a great thing for someone who's battling addictions and trying to fight it. They get that break to come there and let out all their aggression for those 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever time we're there. And when I always watch it from the curtain sometimes, and I watch the kids' faces, and man, they are thoroughly enjoying everything that they're seeing.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And
it's gotta be good to have a safe place.
yeah, and I don't know about you guys, but me, when I'm wrestling, I can be in my gimmick, and I can be the meanest heel I can be, but nothing makes my heart feel great than when I look out there and I see a fan that is legitimately loving every minute or every second that they're seeing. It makes me proud.
Yeah, most definitely.
So after these 2 shows that you guys got this coming weekend, what are you guys or were you guys going to be at the following weekend?
I will have to look at the calendar. We'll have to actually pull up our calendar real quick. I think I want to say after this weekend, it's the Path of. No, is it the Path of Wrestling?
Yeah, Path of Wrestling, and y'all doing AIWS as well on the Saturday?
Yeah.
Hezekiah will be out of town.
He's on vacation. It's just gonna be me and Danny.
Oh, okay. So Hezekiah is going to take a little hiatus. That's good, man. Gotta have a good vacation. Yeah, I just had one myself a couple weeks ago. I just took off and went to, where did I go? I went to the beach, and then this past Tuesday night, my wife dragged me to a concert, and so I've just kind of been low key in it. And I actually have a show this coming Saturday as well. I'm going to be in Morganton for NAWA at the Burke County Fairgrounds, so I'm looking forward to that. But wish you guys were there with me, but I know you guys have got a bigger show going on this weekend with the Rick Link Super Show on Sunday and the CWF on Saturday, so you guys are definitely staying busy with it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Burke County is nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those boys are definitely over there.
Oh yeah, and I'm excited that the promoter there is wanting to start using you guys more, because I think once you guys start working there full time too, you'll see the crowd there is almost as hot sometimes as that crowd that we worked with up there in SoberSlam. Not quite as hot, but they're an old school crowd, and they love their wrestling.
They really are. We had a fan from there actually like threatening us on Facebook.
What?
He didn't really, he was just like, next time y'all come back, I won't fight you or something. Cause
yeah, he went out of his way to find me on Facebook and run his mouth. But
oh yeah, I saw
man.
that.
I love that.
I saw that.
If we make somebody that upset, where they go out of their way to find us on Facebook.
Yes. And that's what I'm talking about. That's heat right there. That's I mean, you guys made this guy so mad that he went on Facebook and stalked you till he found you. That's pretty good right there. Yeah, I remember that post because he had made some comment about wiping your butt or something like that, but he was trying to write whip, but he spelled whip as wipe, and then of course me being the smart aleck I am, I commented with a roll of toilet paper. I thought that was funny as crap. I was like, oh my god, this guy's gonna wipe your butt. He ain't gonna whip it. He's gonna wipe it. But yeah, that was a great heat. Over the years with me wrestling, the most heat I've ever gotten has been in the western part of North Carolina. I had done a show one time in Marion, which is about 10 miles west of Morganton. And me and my partner had beat up the hometown hero. Ambulance got called, cops got called, and cops ended up escorting me out of town because these guys were going to beat me up with some axe handles because we beat up the hometown hero. But in reality, my tag team partner just made a mistake and hit him with the wrong end of the chair and opened him up pretty good and gave him a concussion. But the fans didn't see that. All they saw was back then I was known as Little Tony. Only thing they saw was Little Tony bust him in the head with the championship belt. And then shortly after that, he was gushing blood. So they thought I'm the one that done it. So they were out to get me. And at that time, I was like 19 years old. And I was like, oh my God, I was terrified. I'm like, I'm never wrestling again. And then I had that week to think about it. I'm like, man, that was pretty fun. So from there, I just did it. I just kept on, and I haven't stopped. And 28 years later, I'm still here, still drawing heat when I can. But you guys have stepped it up a little bit on me.
Definitely one of the most fun parts about it.
Yeah. I meet young guys and they talk about getting into business and want to be wrestlers and everything, and they're always I want to be the good guy. Listen, I have never in my life wanted to be the good guy. I always want to be the bad guy because I know how to piss people off. I've been doing it all my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's definitely. I don't know. For some reason, it's just a lot more fun, and it's easier to get a crowd to boo you, believe it or not, to get a crowd to boo you than it is to cheer you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It really is. Like, because, not saying you can't get them to cheer you, but, like, sometimes you can go out there and, try to get that crowd to clap, cheer, and then just sit there on their hands.
Yeah.
But I guarantee if you walk out there, walk out of that curtain, and shut up, blah, 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 they're not just going to sit there on their hands. They're going to talk. They're going to talk back.
Right. And the key, at least I feel like being a great heel, is how to push their buttons, how hard to push their buttons, and once you learn that, you got it down pat. I know Jimmy Vac used to tell me all the time. He says I love you being a heel. He said because 1 minute you have them so mad they're ready to cut your throat. And then the next minute, you miss something or you do something and make them laugh so hard that at that point he said they're confused. They don't know whether they hate you or like you. He said I think that's really good. And I took that as a good compliment from him because he's been in this business for a long time. But I basically just do the stuff that I saw my heroes do back in the day, and I just kind of turn it up a little bit here and there. But Danny, like your gimmick when you come out with your fanny pack and your hat and your glasses and your jacket and you do that whole deal. I mean, the crowd's like mad. They're ready. Take off your damn stuff, man. We're ready to see this match, And you shut up. I'm taking my time to take off my jacket and blah blah blah. And I think that's great. I mean, that's definitely some easy heat that you can get. And it doesn't take a lot of, one of the things that makes me mad is like I go to some of these shows and this heel will come out and he's cussing the fans out and I mean anybody can do that, but someone that takes the time to come up with stuff, small stuff, to really get the crowd hot, like you do with the jacket and the fanny pack and of course with
glasses, and
yeah.
and the necklace.
Yeah, it's perfect, and it's easy heat, and man, it's just I love it. I mean, and again, that's another lost art because now a lot of guys think to get themselves over, they gotta go out there and jaw to the crowd. I mean, I can go out there and just like you and do a couple small things, and the crowd's ready to kill me. I can get there and grab a baby face and pull his hair and whatever, and man, and they're ready to hate me. Versus, and I haven't really said anything to them. It's simple stuff. I always tell everybody, less is more. Less is more.
Yep.
Oh yeah. When he works with jacket, he even gets us rolling our eyes. Like, come on, man. Reservation.
That's what. I can't remember who it was. One of the guys told me one time in the match or at a show. They said, Tony, he said, when you know when you're a good heel. I said, how's that? He goes, when you got your tag team partner pissed off at you because you're taking too long to do something or you're doing something in there, then you're doing it right. I'm like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the ref a few weeks ago at that Passive Wrestling show, he said that I reminded him of Buddy Rose.
Playboy Buddy Rose.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Playboy Buddy Rose. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's he. Now, Playboy Buddy Rose, he was a good heel.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely a good heel.
Working his t-shirt.
Yeah, we're
doing the
Mm-hmm. For sure. Now, Danny, I know you currently have a training schools. That's correct.
Yes, in Thomasville on National Highway.
So if someone wanted to become a wrestler, how would they go about getting in touch with you to join your wrestling school?
They can either message me personally on Facebook, or they can look us up on our Facebook and Google. And if you look us up on Google, it's got the phone number and everything. You can either call that number. The number is 336-823-1333. Yeah, you can either give us a call or send us a message on Facebook. We got a Facebook page, or you can send me a message on my personal page.
Universal Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, Universal Pro Wrestling.
Okay. Now, what days do you guys train?
Usually, we train on Fridays and Sundays. Fridays is usually about 6 p.m., and then Sundays is about 2 p.m.
Okay. Well, that's great. I know I've been trying to get down there, but my crazy schedule prevents me to. But I'm gonna make it down there one day because I want to come see your school and work out in your ring again.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, we're definitely in the baby steps of the whole process of things, but we're working on it slowly but surely. We've had a few people come out there. We've had the old Terminators. They've been coming down there working out some. We've had Kamikaze Kid. He's come down there and worked out with some of the boys. Had Jimmy Parker out there, Paco Loco. Dave Saunders. There's been quite a few guys come out there.
Oh, nice. That's good. That's good. Well, guys, I really appreciate you coming on my show. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how big that this Viva Las Amish gimmick can get over. I think the sky's the limit for sure.
Only up from here.
That's what they say. Well, Hezekiah, I hope you enjoy your vacation.
I appreciate it, man. I'll try and clear my head a little bit.
Rest up and
whatever.
Y'all jealous.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, well, very good. Well, you guys again. I
don't want to bump.
Yep, and why Hezekiah is gone, Jebediah and Danny Vegas are going to continue wreaking havoc on the Mid-Atlantic area until Hezekiah gets back.
Livestock and jackpot.
Hey, I love that. You put that on your next shirt.
For sure.
Very good. Well, you guys have a good week and look forward to seeing you. And thanks again for being on the podcast.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the NAWA Big Johnny Birthday Bash, Saturday, July 13th, 7 p.m. bell time at the Burke County Fairgrounds, 145 Boss Road in Morganton, North Carolina. Scheduled to appear, Gladiator number 2, Thomas Extreme, the Burke County Boys, Chris Thunder Anderson, and many more. It's the Big Johnny Birthday Bash, Saturday, July 13th at the Burke County Fairgrounds in Morganton, North Carolina. Be there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another edition of the BengeBuster Show. Please make sure you tune in each and every week and like us on the Facebook page.